We now return to Let's Play Zeus. Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and get started and remove this and get it to something I guess I will want. This may have huge impact now without having that monument there on the appeal. So this might end up being all rearranged anyway, having a monument maybe on this side, and we will probably end up utilizing this row. So we'll have the wall bulge out a little bit. However, that will sort of be offset by the needless agora over here, which we will remove and put over here. I'm going to implement the idea that I hadn't had in the last episode, excuse me, and put the agora and stadium side by side here. So first of all, let me delete this. And so what I can do here, actually, if I put it right here, that will give me a 2x spot here. Well, let's just do it and we'll see it. That, do the whole damn thing. I guess I don't actually need to delete all of those.
Traders love cities where Hermes is in residence.
Okay. So we'll bring the agora back up here. And so now you see what I'm saying, is that I could, because I'm going to have to move and squeeze everything back together in here, putting it here gives me a 2x spot for the inspector. However, now that I've actually got this much space and I can see it, maybe I want to actually put it this way. This is not going to actually allow the competitors to walk in this area anyway, because they will not be released from that corner of the building. So really, my option there would be taking this all out and putting it in the back here. Which means that it would go on that side. So the only... man, suddenly I'm losing my voice. The only issue with doing this is that whilst I could push everything over and make room for what I've got down here by this agora, I don't now have room for the healthcare. I mean, I kind of wanted to keep the building by itself separate anyway, just because I had wanted to sort of wall that off and visually create it as a separate section. I don't think that's going to be an option anymore. So we'll get rid of that. We're going to have to bring the columns in a bit. And we're going to have to get rid of these columns. So now, we're looking at and also putting it far away. This would allow me to beautify the structure right here, or the road, by bringing it back one. Maybe I could do a road along the side of it so that it all connects into here. That seems like a huge mess that I would be creating for myself, so maybe I won't be doing that. I was actually thinking of using this road, wasn't I? Grand Agora. Yeah, kind of in there. Prevents me from utilizing another road. So we'll do that. Which I guess that means I then close that off. But then we do come into... Okay. So if I do this, if I close that off, that means that we will now confine them to this road. We can get rid of this one. I still just need to decide right now where all of this is going to go. So if I put a gymnasium here, at least half of this would have walkers that would come to the competitors, or competitors that would come to the stadium. Still leaves out half of this unless I put the gym here, and then it would still be half and half. We would never get them circling around on this side. It's only going to be one or the other that will be able to do that. Unless the building produces on multiple roads, which I don't think it does. Alright, well, that's enough thinking about this, because we're just wasting time. So I guess I'll put it here anyway. This may mean that we just have a competitor walking between two roadblocks. I don't really like that. But what else am I going to put there? I think that's my only option at this point. We'll then take the inspector, put that in there. That's not going to spawn here, is it? Let's find out before we go deleting that one. Nope. Okay, perfect. That's what I thought was going to happen. So we can just get rid of that and then bring that into here. Looking at this layout, because now I've got a 3x space there. Oh well, we need a statue. Well, but I've got a monument there now. Is the thing. It might be better just to put a monument in this corner. I don't necessarily like the idea of having all of my production buildings here, culture-wise, but that might just be the option. The best option there, because it does look a little yeah, okay, because otherwise we're just gonna have two huge monuments right next to each other. But that's still, I mean, I guess I can put the infirmary there. That's fine, that's fine. So let's take and put the college down here. We'll remove this one. Put a scholar monument over here, just to remind people that there once was a school. And then of course we have to put back in all of our Agora things, because otherwise we're going to have a little bit of a hard time here. Oil. And we'll do some fleece. Boy, I didn't lay this out quite right, did I? Fleece, wine, arms. Let's speed this up. Okay, they're full and they're all within range. Perfect. So workers needed. Is it you guys? Don't have access to wine to begin with. So what's the issue now? I don't really understand. We'll let that go for a bit. Actually pause, because I need to put in healthcare. Not that letting it run for a little bit is going to be so disastrous with healthcare that we're not going to be able to catch up, but you know. This whole thing is just completely... I may actually just want to remove all of this and move it over one, because now that I don't need this road anymore, I could bring it in. But the way it is now, I've got a 4x space, which I could put my infirmary for this house block right here. Okay, we'll just leave it, whatever. Whatever, we'll just start filling in. So bear in mind now, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll need one offset. I don't necessarily want this in the backyard, so we'll put that right there, because if I put in boulevard, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus some beautification. So we'll do that real quick. We can let them go now. Lower this down just a bit, and we'll put in avenue to there, and a boulevard to here. Should work there. Okay. So let's put in, I guess, just some park, and we'll put in like a gazebo and a flower garden. It does offset just a bit, doesn't it? That's alright. Smyrna wants sculpture. Well, we may not be able to get them that. That may not work out this time. What's my sculpture doing? I don't... Oh, okay. Well, I have some. I just don't have enough. So we will do a full accepting of sculpture here, and we will hope that we can get that. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at all this. And this shortcut works perfectly now. I think I did a good job there. We have 8. We just need to make 3 more. There's more bronze to make sculpture with. I feel like we set them up to be able to make their own. And that's where my people went. My people all went to the temple. That's fine. Right. So now that I've kind of pushed the road out a little bit, I could actually put a temple to Hermes right inside here. That might be okay. Still haven't fully decided what I want to do with that. I'm thinking maybe I want to make this the Hall of Heroes, and Medusa's about to take care of some of the people coming into town. Oh no. Okay, good. She's going back up. I thought she was on her way into town. So yeah, I was thinking of making this the Hill of Heroes. I'm working on it. Okay, yeah, I already put them down.
Traders love cities where Hermes is in residence.
So actually, let's before too much more happens here, let's get these out of here. Okay, cool. The Heroes Halls can go on the Heroes Hill, and we'll just kind of make this a thing. I, just for the sake of it, might put some houses up here. We'll just kind of have an offshoot thing, but it'll really just be for, I suppose we can say, for role-playing purposes, the tenders of the halls and whatnot, because yeah, this just doesn't work. I could go into the map editor, but I don't think I can actually edit the map now that I've started on it. That may be false thinking, but I was really hoping we could do that. I do know that Dionysus would have fit up there, but whatever. Too late now. We will save this just in case we get Theseus, and I think we need to put in more Agora. So let's do food vendor. We'll just do a half and half this time. We'll do food, oil, and wine on the one side. There we go. And we will do arms and fleece on this side. We'll have that get up to speed right now. I know I just said I was going to keep this for the infirmary, but it just occurred to me that that's actually not going to work, because now that would mean that the walker would spawn over here. So we will have to actually bring in the road after all. If I did 1, 2, 3, 4, that means the road would come right along the back side here, which is kind of okay. It's keeping the wall out here, though. That is another thing that I don't like too much, because the only reason that would be there... Yeah. The wall would just be stuck out, so I could put something in there. But, like I said, it's not going to work unless I just spam roadblock, because otherwise they're going to go off in that direction. Or will they? It's the top right, so it would be this pillar right here. Let's give this a shot. We might actually be able to use the mechanics against itself here. Interesting. Okay. Well, in that case, we can now actually get rid of that. We'll just get rid of that. And I guess that was where they went in. Okay. We'll put the roadblock here. Bring that back. And now I can actually bring this back as well, that no one's even here at the moment. I thought we got rid of the tap of the miners, but apparently not. So we're still going to end up having large sections just back here of whatever. But this now actually works, so that's good. Smyrna is ready for their sculpture now. Excellent. We're done with sculpture production anyhow, because I don't need them for temples yet, but I should probably figure that out right now. So Hermes, do we put him up here with the rest? Because he fits nicely. Again, that won't let me do my wall idea, and I can make a nice big park here. And I had actually thought about saving this for a Heroes Hall, hadn't I, now that I recall that? Which means only somebody. We'll put Perseus up here. Perseus is the one going for that. So we'll put Perseus's hill up here, and we'll put Odysseus over here. We'll put Hermes... I mean, really thematically, Hermes should probably be here, since Hermes is going to be the god of trade for me, and this is sort of going to be where my trade hub is. So I could do a Hermes inside of here, which means if I drag this wall, or the road, or put an entrance here and put the wall along the outside, this just means I would probably have to put the road around. I mean, that's okay too. Okay, let's do that. Let's, how do I want to do this here? Because if I'm going to put the entrance this way... Because if I put too many, then I'm going to have this wall hit a gap all over the place. So... we'll put that there. That will be the true entrance to the city, I suppose. Although I could section off another one as I come in, but the road would be all weird anyhow. Because really, otherwise I have no idea what's going to go in here. But there's this whole section of the city here too. Let me pause and think this one through. Okay, I've made a decision. First of all, let's drag this road out to here so that it will eventually connect up to that. What that means then is that I will need an exit. We'll probably have one over here. Now, if I ever build into this, this is a massive area out here. If I do, I think I'll probably put another elite section over there. And the only issue with that is that we get one stadium per city. So this may not actually end up staying here, because in order to get the cavalry, it really would be more beneficial for me to have an elite section that surrounds the stadium so that basically everybody gets it. So we'd basically be making a pinwheel design so that everyone would have an athlete come walking through their neighborhood, and I'd probably just have one on one side and one on the other side surrounding the stadium. So we'll probably end up moving that. But for right now, we need to focus on actually closing something else off and getting Hermes over here. I will end up putting Hermes here. So we'll just do something like that, and that makes this look a little bit weird, but it also will do the job. So that's obviously not where I want that, because now I need to take this out to put down Hermes. And Hermes is going to be perhaps back a little bit. Well, if I surround it by road, I'm just curious as to how this will look. I may actually also do this, which then obviously we want to bring that down. Again, that's not very symmetrical. It's not going to be symmetrical by any means anywhere around here, but so perhaps we'll just do that. The only reason I'm even thinking of the road on the inside there is for towers, because we're going to end up having a lot of people. A lot of people. And this is going to require him to, I guess on the outside, yeah, see, I can't have it go too far. Maybe I can't have the road go there at all, in fact. The roads are going to have to be touching, because they're going to have to be somewhere on here. I'll put it down right there. We can do avenue. Oh, good, I can. We can do avenue all the way to there. At least on this side. Maybe I won't have this. here. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll figure out what to beautify there a little bit later. And then, of course, this will also connect to here for redundancy, which I could then also not actually connect to there. Okay. Well, whatever. This will be its own little separate thing anyway, and in fact, I may end up, if I'm going to be putting housing here, I'm going to need an agora, which means that there will be one here somehow, anyhow. Whatever. Okay, we'll come back to that. We need to now connect up this wall, and there we go. Okay. So, looking at this, I'm thinking maybe we'll have one more section of housing here, 1, 2, like I said, this big elite area out here, and perhaps 3. And I know that that might be getting a little ahead of myself. Man, we must be going to the Olympics or something. Oh, we won. We won the city's games. We just had the Olympics here, and we won. Awesome. I was not paying attention to that at all. It's a good damn thing we had a stadium down. Okay, so clearly armor production needs to be improved. I also need to expand this a little bit. And we need to make this accept fleece, but not get it. And we need this one to get olive oil. And then this one will now be accepting it. And that way that should get it a little bit closer. Looks like everybody's just fine for this, and I'm hopeful now that that will actually be close enough for a horse ranch that we won't have issue there. Put the gatehouse back in down here. I know that's kind of a waste of this road, but I really don't want it going anywhere else. So in order to maximize this and make it work, we're now going to have a gymnasium on this end of town, which because of the wall going here, it's not going to fit. So let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I do have 4, but consider that I'm going to be putting in a few spaces for buildings, which I guess could all go over here, but we do need to keep a theater. So maybe I should put that down before I'm putting all these other things in place. Put a big theater in. Probably wanted to put houses over here. Yeah, right next to the stadium's fine, whatever. Put that there. We'll give you some columns. And this should make the park in the back a little bit bigger as well. It will. Good. So that should help with that. Okay. So I'm going to need an inspector. There is no inspector on this road, I just realized, and that probably means that that thing's about to collapse. It totally is. So maybe pushing this out for 2, just so I could have some things in the back, but again, I'm not a huge, super fan of that. Putting it here, though, it's really better to have it on one end or the other. I don't want to cap this off, though, because that's going to be my road that connects to this section. But putting the inspector here does not guarantee it will pop out close enough to watch that, but we'll put it there anyway and find out, which means it's going to have to be offset by a tax collector. And of course we will put some Corinthian columns in. So now that will offset the count here, so that means we can probably squeeze some buildings in. Let's find out. Okay, makes it, and apparently makes it to the Agora as well. Those things really start to go bad very quickly, don't they? Okay, well that's an okay pattern for him to be taking. I'm fine with that. So now we need to think about the wraparound. I'm not maybe going to have a housing block here after all. I think maybe I'll just bring the walls in, and then I don't know what I'll do with this, but I just can't see a need for having this thing, and it's really just in the way. Like all of it is just super in the way right now. We'll do gazebo here, sure, gazebo here to help out that. I do definitely need to think about this because my original vision for this was that this was going to be a distribution center surrounded by agoras to create the image of the big agora. However, I don't think I've got enough housing blocks to really make this work, because I can have one like here that feeds this housing block. I suppose that'll work. And then one to this side, one to... See, so like I've got enough space for 3 more of these agoras, which would create a section here, and I suppose I could have one feed off into some weird L-shaped loop for a 3rd one. These spaces up here I guess are just going to be big and empty, so there's a 4th one there. So these ones that are being fed over here I guess will be a little more common housing, or actually these ones should be more common housing. This could be another industrial sector. Are we going to have enough people? We're not going to have enough people for that temple. So when that gets finished, we're going to be in some trouble here. I'm going to need another housing block anyway. But let's come back to this for a moment and just finish off what I've got here. So I could bring the wall back. We don't have to have it sticking out here. And in fact, I think that's going to be undesirable for me. If I do a wall along the outside of this and bring it to this, I can go somewhat like that, which creates space in here, and I don't know what to do with that. I mean, I guess I can make like just a little bit of common housing in here. It would have everything, have access to everything, and that would probably look okay. Do we have appeal issues up here? Shouldn't, except this one does. So I guess we'll have to put some structures in here. So these weren't going to evolve anyway because they don't have good enough appeal. The way to offset that would be pushing the wall back for another monument, but I don't think I will do that. I can bring the wall along here and have it kick out here, but okay, we'll just, for right now, we'll do like a flower garden here. We'll put a gazebo up here, and that would give me 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could do just like a garden path, I suppose, or a bench. We'll have a couple servant houses out here or something, or houses for actors and doctors. I don't know what they're for. Thematically, we're just putting things in to make them look nice at the moment. So this is where this is going to be tricky, because now this road is only going to be able to stick out so far. So this will have to go, which may hurt some things there. But if we can bring in a wall, I do not want the wall doing that. That closes off the walkway. The wall cannot go there. So the wall is going to have to go in this far, but it can still come out this far and add up there. Oh, good grief. Come on. We need to circle that back around here, and we'll just put a bunch of columns, or a bunch of parks back in here. Okay. And that kills that, and now I've got a big weird thing going on here that I don't really know what to do with. I mean, I can just keep cramming monuments and whatnot back in here, because parks aren't going to do anything. Putting in parks just duplicates the large park thing. That's not so great. So maybe this will end up being redone anyway. I can put a big... How about this? I can put a big fish pond back here now. but nothing else, because now it will not allow me to have hedge mazes. It will not allow me to do that. Do the good old standby of a gazebo in the back. And we'll just do parks like so. It's really got out of what I wanted it to be. But that should enclose that in at least, so we've got something going on there. Let's go ahead and do tower, tower there, and I suppose a tower there. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to call this section done. We don't have the appeal to evolve anyway, which is fine because they're not going to go much further without access to a stadium, and obviously they don't have it. Being connected to the road is not enough, and without a gym walking down here to go, they are not going to get it considered to be access, so it's stuck where it's at. So I guess I can put a gym here, because having these be 3, alternatively, I could cut that out and put a gym there, and have a 2x building along here, because I don't know how far I'm going to want to bring this in. Because having that go 3 there, I'd have to cut the wall right there, which I can do, but that's a lot of clearing. But that might work, and then I'm going to have 3x buildings anyway. Alternatively, I'm also going to need a podium, but there's just not enough to, yeah. We're going to need 3x buildings, and I'm probably not going to get a full 8 set of elite hoplites in here. I'm looking at probably 6, the way it is. Maybe 7. That's still going to be a weird number, but anyway, what's your deal? Really? The appeal is so bad here now that that's not going to work. Okay. There is a way to offset that. We can just get rid of, say, a college. Put that over here, because we don't need to duplicate all those buildings. In fact, we've got a theater here. He can just walk to there. He'll actually probably walk here, but we got a theater. So maybe I'll get the college out of there. I'll put it over here with the gym, and then we'll put just a garden here or something to beautify that. So at least we have a full company. So we should have 4 companies now. Well, not now, but we will when it's full. Okay, we got 3 full and 1 partial, so okay. Anyway, that part of the military is done. So this again, this takes out 5, so I could put another house here. So I might actually be able to get a full set by taking this out. Yeah, because if I do want to put that over there so it's accessible for cavalry, then we'll have to redo something over here anyway. Alright, there's a lot to think about, but it's probably time to end the video here. I will see you next time.